how to be or stay classy, elegant, poised. That's what we're talking about today. It's a little bit different. Normally we do fashion, but it's kind of fun to kind of change it up a little bit every now and then. We're going to break this down into two categories. One is going to be how to remain elegant and classy with your style. And then the second is going to be with your behavior, your mindset, the way you communicate, and that type of thing. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you'll stay for the rest of the video. This is so fun, and just because I am articulating to you what I've learned and encountered over the years, that does not mean that I'm the expert on any of this. I'm just sharing what I know, what's worked for me, and what I've seen in other people that I've admired and thought, wow, she's a really elegant lady, and just watching like her mannerisms. So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be fun. If you're new, hi, my name is Michelle, and I create 2 videos a week here on YouTube, mostly about fashion, but today we are taking a little field trip away from fashion and talking about how to stay elegant and poised and classy, and sometimes we just need those reminders. Today's going to be just sort of that reminder video. I want to thank today's sponsor of our video, and that is Confili bras. They are so good. If you've never heard of them, stay tuned. You're going to want to hear. They are so comfortable. We're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video, so stay tuned. All right, let's start with the definition of classy and the definition of elegance. So the definition of classy is stylish and sophisticated, and the definition of elegant is graceful and stylish in appearance or manner. Okay, so there's that. And I just wanted to say before we get started on any of this, in my personal opinion, the most classy and elegant women that I see are kind and respectful. If you lose these 2 elements, if you are not kind and you are not respectful, you are not being classy or elegant. So just always remember that. We can talk about fashion tips and ways to articulate things and the way you stand and your posture. We can go over all of this. But if you're not kind and you're not respectful, all of that goes out the door and no one's listening anymore. So let's get started with personal style, because that's a fun one. You do not have to have an entire new wardrobe to be stylish. You can take the clothes that you already have and you can still be stylish and classy and elegant with those items, because it's really not about the item, it's about how you wear the item. For instance, no wrinkles. There's one thing. You can get a steamer, you can steam out all the wrinkles, no stains. That's another thing. Do your clothes fit you well? Do you look put together? If our pants look too long, then we look a little bit sloppy. If our clothes look too tight, we look not really all that put together. If we have too much going on as far as prints and bold this and all that, that's too much. Try to remember to keep the eye looking at one thing, and that could be in a number of different areas. For instance, in a wardrobe, if you're going to have a loud top or a bold top, let's keep it quiet or neutral with the rest of our clothes. Let's not have like a bright handbag with a bright top or bright shoes. That's too many things. We want the eye to focus on one statement piece and let the rest be neutral. Same goes for your makeup. So if you're wearing a bold lip, try to keep the rest of it kind of not as bright. If you're wearing a bold eye, again, make sure the rest, and I'm not saying it has to be flat or neutral, I'm just saying toned down, because you want to give the eye one thing to look at. If there are more things to look at than that one, then it's competing with each other, and you don't want that. You want just that one thing to be your standout piece or color or something like that. Also, wearing accessories really makes a big difference. Am I saying that you have to go out and buy statement jewelry and all this? No, 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 no. If you like statement jewelry, that's great, but you don't have to. You can wear just a simple necklace or a delicate, dainty bracelet. Whatever your style is, do that. But do accessorize. There's such a big difference between someone who doesn't wear any accessories and someone who does. And so whatever your style is, do that and feel good about it, you know, but don't skip that step of accessorizing because it really does help add to your the way you present yourself. This portion of today's video is sponsored by Confili, and they create the most comfortable bras. So their bras are wire-free and seamless. And I'm telling you what, they are that good. Let me show you. This is the Curve Pop bra. It is so beautiful, and I just want you to notice that it is completely seamless. A couple of features I wanted to just mention is it has a V-neck for a very flattering neckline, but the back is unique. Look at this. See how it's shaped like a U shape in the back? Most bras are going to come straight across here and then up, but this one has that detailing for the U shape to offer enhanced support. The attention to detail is just so good. They have this slip grip strap, and the strap is actually wider for a more comfortable feel. The colors are just beautiful. They actually selected the colors from the Pantone color of the year, and I think it's so rich and beautiful. Now, okay, listen, with this bra, with the Curve Pop bra, they're going to send you a lingerie bag to wash it in. Now, they recommend that you hand wash because, of course, that's going to be more gentle on your bras. But if you're not going to hand wash, this is the perfect option. So you can just slip it in there and zip this up, and you are good to go to wash on gentle. Look at how comfortable that looks. So it's wire-free, and it has more spandex than most bras. So they use 43% spandex, and the industry level is mostly 15%. So there's quite a bit more stretch to it, which I love. And then this part, you know, under the arm right here is wider, and so it's so much more comfortable. It holds everything in place without back that oozing right here. There is a spot right here for you to pull the pad out for when you wash it. We all have different issues with our bras. Now for me, I'm on the smaller side, and so the issues I have are straps falling down, or if I wear a bralette that I've pulled over my head, when I reach up, it slides up and it doesn't stay in place. Not the case with these bras. All right, now let me tell you a little bit about it. So the sizing is small to 3XL, and they also send along an extender if you need it. And I'll be honest, at first I thought small to 3XL. I don't think that's going to work for me because I'm so small, but it does. It did not slide up. It stayed secure. It was tight enough. I wasn't even on the last of the hook and eyes, so I did have room to even go tighter if I needed, which I love that. There's several styles that they have. This one is called the Air Light, and it's perfect for warm weather or if you're working out. Okay, first of all, how cute are those scallops? But it is designed on the inside. I'm going to hold this up close so you can see. See all those perforated holes? There's over 10,000 of them inside this bra to create ventilation. That's amazing. I'm telling you, these are so cool. They did give me a discount code to pass along to you for 23% off. The code is Michelle23, and I will put all of that down in the description box below for your information. You can refer back to it. You got to try them. You got to try them. They're really, really comfortable, and they're wire-free, so they don't dig into your skin. Game changer of a bra. You got to let me know how you like them. I love them. The real test is wearing it underneath a fitted t-shirt. So let me go change. I'll be right back. Okay, the fitted t-shirt test. Look at how smooth everything is. There's no back fat bulge, nothing like that. There's no bulge here. I'm covered up. It's very smooth. The straps are adjustable and they're that thicker and they're very comfortable and stretchy. They don't fall down. I can't believe I'm not constantly going like this. They just stay in place and look very smooth under a very fitted t-shirt. Because it has that wider strap right here, it's holding everything in and in place and you don't see lumps and bumps and bulges. It is so smooth. Say goodbye to your wired bras and the ones that have the thin straps right here that leave back fat. You'll never want to wear them again now that you've discovered Confili bras. There's so many styles to choose from. There's really something for everyone. For instance, this is the Airlight Color Block bra. This is for the girl that wants that barely there feel, but she doesn't want to compromise support. And so this is the perfect answer. It's one of the lightest weight bras that they make. There's one that's called the Victory V, and it has a little bit deeper of a V right here. It's perfect for lower necklines, or if you want to just elongate the look of your neck. They also have one that's designed for more fuller busts, and it has like this extra layer right here for support, and then the straps are wider for more comfort. Don't forget to use my code, Michelle23. It's going to get you 23% off site-wide, excluding clearance, so you'll get to pick out the one that works best for your body type. Thank you, Confili, for sponsoring this portion of the video. It's always fun to share with your girlfriends really great finds. Make sure that your hands are groomed. Now, if you're one that likes to get her nails done, great. If you're one that doesn't like to get her nails done, that's okay. Just make sure that your nails are filed to a certain shape or you have a clear polish on, but just make sure they're taken care of. They're groomed. You've got your cuticles pushed back or clipped, and you've got whatever kind of color you like. Personally, and this is just a personal opinion, I like to wear either a light beigey pink or lighter white, like Funny Bunny, or red. Those are kind of my go-tos. Every once in a while, in the spring or summer, I will like to go with like a bright pink, like Strawberry Margarita. These are all OPI polishes that I'm mentioning, like Strawberry Margarita or Cajun Shrimp. But as the norm goes, I'm going to keep it pretty neutral. This is actually the shade Baby Take a Vow. So it's a real light pink, and I love it. And just making sure that your hands are taken care of is huge. And I know that some of this may sound like, duh, Michelle, but I don't know, we might just need to go over these things and just talk about them sometimes. If you're somebody that likes to garden and you get dirt under your fingernails and such, just make sure that that's gone. Clean up afterwards. Get that dirt out. It makes a difference in how you present yourself at work, with relationships, all kinds of things. So make sure that your hands, your nails and such are well groomed. They don't have to be long nails. As a matter of fact, the overemphasized long nails really aren't that elegant. I would say, and I say this because I'm looking at the French. Anytime I want to know if something is sort of in style or what's coming in style, what's coming this way, I always look at the French ladies because they are always just a step ahead of where we are with fashion and just all of that. So anyway, I notice that most of the French ladies that I see will have a shorter nail. They're not going to have the long pointy nails, just a shorter nail with a clear polish or red. I do see quite a bit of red. Okay, now moving on to hair. Let's talk about this for a minute because it's very important to get your hair cut from time to time. We want to keep those split ends off. We want to keep it shaped in a style. We'd like to have a modern type hairstyle. And this is, I would say, okay, I'm going to say this next part for mostly, not all, just mostly. Mostly, I would say for women that are around my age, I'm 58 or older, having your hair come to like the collarbone or up in style is going to be probably a little bit more flattering than long, long hair. But that's not to say all the time, because I do know people who have long, long hair. I have a very good friend of mine that has long, long hair. She's my age, and it looks so good on her. Not everybody can pull that off. So if you're one that can pull that off, great. But if you're not, try to just keep that in mind. But more than anything, more than the length, really stay up to getting your hair trimmed and styled, because it looks so dry and brittle and just not good when your hair is not in a healthy state. I have had a friend that was of the mindset that I'm just going to grow my hair long, 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 and I'm not going to cut it, and I'm not going to cut it. And I kept trying to communicate to her, it's going to look so much more healthy if you continue to have just the ends just nipped off. Then it'll look full as it's growing out instead of kind of scraggly and not. It'll look just thin and not good. So keep up with your hair appointments, keep your hair trimmed, keep it styled nicely, and it's really going to add to your elegance and your class and the way that you present yourself. Let's touch on makeup before we move into the other category of the mindset, the posture, the way you communicate, all that. So dealing with the physical, let's talk about makeup for just a minute. I have come to discover on my skin, my mature skin, that the older I get, the more I find that for me, less is more with makeup. So I can't wear a heavy, heavy foundation anymore. It looks cakey on my skin. And so less is more. So I choose to wear a lighter weight foundation. I don't know if you have the same challenges, but just on my age, I find that that works better. And I'll go back to the one bold thing. So I feel like when in my everyday makeup, what I sort of go to mostly is a bolder eyeliner. I kind of do a thicker eyeliner and I wing it up. And so that's going to be my bold thing. So I'm going to keep everything else. I've got like a pinky nude lip. I've got a light blush. I've got a light highlighter, just trying to keep it to where it's not, a bunch of bold going on. So I am one, I've tried and tried to wear a red lip and it never works for me. I always feel like a clown when I try to wear a red lip. I want to wear a red lip. I think it looks so nice on other people, but every time I try to wear one, I feel like I look ridiculous. Anyway, but a red lip is great. Just remember to keep it kind of toned down everywhere else. As far as the type of makeup, I don't really think that mature skin has to use a type of makeup or a brand of makeup. I know that there are some cosmetics that I use that in fact do gear towards the more mature skin, anti-aging this, properties and ingredients and all that, and that's fine. And some of them I do, like Laura Geller is one that I will use that is really geared to over 40, and that's great. I also love my Tarte Cosmetics, which is not geared towards more mature skin. It's just, I use a bunch of things. I think it's how you use it, how light-handed you use it, and the way that you apply it. So don't feel like you have to get caught up in a certain brand or something like that. Just do what complements, put on what complements your features the best and that you feel the best in. You feel like you look your best in wearing your makeup this way or that way. Okay, let's talk about the way we present ourselves and our attitude, our mindset, the way we articulate things. This is so important. Okay, so I would say, again, you know how I said kindness and respect is the top of the list for looking elegant and classy. Okay, for this section, I'm going to say that the most important thing is going to be to have a warm smile and eye contact. Try to make eye contact with people. Smile at them, make eye contact, give them your attention, listen to them, look at their eyes when they speak. It's so important, and that is such a fabulous form of grace and respect, and it's just a great thing to implement. Warm smile, eye contact. All right, of course we have to talk about posture because you know that's a big deal. So, we've got to keep our shoulders up and keep our head up, keep our chin up, and put your best foot forward. If you're standing like this, you look completely different, especially if you're like this with your arms crossed and you're just kind of slumped down. That looks completely different than standing up, shoulders back, chin up, eye contact, smiling, acknowledging that you're listening. Oh my goodness, it's so much better. This arms folded is so close. It is screaming, I'm closed off, not really interested, and okay, yeah, totally different. We don't want to be like that. Body language is a pretty big deal. So the way that we are standing or sitting or walking, all of these things, they are such a big deal. And it's not that we have to be on cue, on point all the time, but just to keep in check, just keep in check. There's so many things like if I'm not really paying attention, I'll look down and I'll notice that I'm walking kind of just, I don't know, like not very gracefully. And it's just something just to keep in check every now and then. Just watch, am I walking gracefully? Do I have my shoulders back? Am I looking at someone when I meet them or greet them? How am I carrying myself? We just need to stay mindful of it, that's all. We also want to speak clearly. We don't want to be mumbling or talking like this, sort of kind of quiet where no one can really hear what you're saying. You're kind of making run-on sentences like this. We need to speak clearly, enunciate our words, and confidently. Speak clearly and confidently without cursing. Okay? That will just automatically just ruin what you are trying to accomplish. If the goal is to be classy or elegant or graceful, if you're in the middle of a conversation with someone and you're explaining this and that, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere comes this curse word, that is not classy. It's not elegant. Stay away from that. It's not that hard to do. Just watch your words. Really, really watch your words. How to have difficult conversations. Okay, it's happened to all of us. We're in the middle of discussing something, and all of a sudden, the conversation gets very uncomfortable, very difficult, and all of a sudden, we feel paralyzed because we don't know how to respond, and we don't want it to get ugly, we don't want it to get confrontational, yet we completely disagree with what is being said, and we don't want to be quiet because then they might assume that you just agree with them, and you don't want that, so what do? Okay, eye contact, warm smile, respect, respect, respect. Articulate your words clearly, confidently, okay? And you can say something like, I appreciate your thoughts. I hear what you're saying. Truly, I do. I just do not see it that way, and I respect where you're coming from. I think we just need to agree to disagree. And if they start coming back, well, you don't get that, maybe you don't get it. If this starts coming back at you again, you just very calmly and respectfully say again, I respect you so much. I appreciate what you're trying to communicate. I don't see it that way, and so we should probably move on to a different subject. I would rather not discuss this. any longer. You can put a stop to conversations, and you can do it nicely. You can do it with respect. There are so many, it seems like lately, as of late in our country, I feel like there's so much like about politics. And, we don't have to agree about politics, but we can discuss it like grown adults if you're going to discuss it, and we can be kind and we can be respectful. And then if we get to a point where we just don't see eye to eye, and it's really there's bringing no value at all to the conversation, then we can just end that part of the conversation and move on to something else. Don't be afraid to say, I'm not really comfortable talking about this any longer. Can we just change the subject for a bit? It's okay to say that. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to talk about with difficult conversations. Another thing is when someone speaks down to you, or they are belittling you, or you know what I mean, they're speaking down to you. You do not need to receive that. And you can, with confidence, respect, okay? So you're going to be the kind one. You're going to err on the side of kindness and respect, because you can still articulate what you want to articulate with confidence, not arrogance, with confidence and with grace. So I'll tell you about a situation that happened with me and somebody that I love. And so this person was speaking to me in a way that they should not have been speaking to me. And I very kindly, very respectfully said, I love you and I want to have a relationship with you, but I will not be talked to that way. You will not speak to me that way. So the ball is in your court. I would like to have a relationship with you. I would love to have a relationship with you. But you're going to make that decision about whether or not we will have a relationship, because you're going to decide on how you speak to me. Because I'm not having that. I will not receive that. I will not tolerate that. So if you decide that you can speak to me kindly and respectfully, great, great. I love you and I want to have a relationship with you. But I can't. I'm not going to, like this. Thankfully, in my situation, this person understood and took a deep breath and acknowledged what I said. And then from that day, this has been a couple years ago now, and then from that day forward has honored me with their words and been respectful with their words. So those are hard conversations to have. It's hard to say that, but you do not need to tolerate or put up with disrespect or being belittled. You stand up for yourself and do it with kindness and do it with respect. Okay, I do have notes. I wrote down all the things that I wanted to mention today. On my notepad, I am old school. I do have to write it out with pen and paper, as it just works for me best. So this is sort of like a lightning round of things that I just wanted to shoot out just like that. We don't need to stay on them, harp on them. There's things like, let's just say it and be done with it and move on. So here is your rapid fire things. So a lot of this has to do with, let's start with being at a restaurant, okay? And, of course it depends on what kind of restaurant. If you're at a barbecue place, maybe all this doesn't apply. But if you're at a nicer restaurant, most definitely it does. Or, sort of in between, medium restaurant, I would say it does too. So here we go. First thing I would say, your napkin goes in your lap automatically. Not after you've been talking, but when you sit down, you put your napkin in your lap. Boom. Do not walk up to a table like you're meeting somebody for lunch being on your phone. No. If you have to be on your phone at that moment, you need to stop before you go to the table, finish your conversation, put your phone up, and then walk up, make eye contact, and smile and greet the person. Do not walk up while you're talking on the phone and, and sit down and no, that's disrespectful. Okay, let's talk about water and bread. So, a lot of times at restaurants, they will put a carafe of water down, and you refill your glasses, and then they'll come back and refill um, the bigger thing. And so, let's say you drink your water faster than the person that you're dining with. Before you fill yours up, you fill theirs up, and then you fill yours up. Others first, others first. Just think that way. And when eating bread, when you eat your bread, you want to tear a piece off and put it in your mouth. You don't want to take a roll or a piece of garlic bread or something and like this. No. Look, if you don't really care about being elegant or classy, just swipe this to the side. I'm just giving you quick tips that I've learned along the way. Tear the piece of bread off and put it in your mouth and eat it like that. When the waiter or waitress, the server, comes to take your order, do not point to the menu and say, I want that. You make eye contact with them, you speak to them, and you say, I will have the salad with salmon. But don't, unless you don't know how to pronounce it. There have been times when I've had to point and say, I really want this, da da da, I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, and then I'll point. But other than that, you don't want to just, that's almost rude. So, yeah. Okay, let's talk about shaking someone's hand. First of all, if you are a woman watching, give a firm handshake. I mean, you don't have to like grab tight, but don't just do the little kind of thing like that. Grab their hand and shake their hand. And here are two things that you want to remember when you're shaking somebody's hand. The first is if you're sitting down and somebody walks up if you're at a restaurant or wherever you are, when someone walks up and they're going to shake your hand, stand up. Don't remain seated and shake their hand. Stand up and shake their hand, okay? And secondly, do not shake their hand with sunglasses on if you're out and about. If you've got your sunglasses on and someone introduces you, you take your glasses off and you shake their hand. Again, see how we're going back to eye contact and just kindness and being respectful? That's where all of this is coming from. Okay, one more kind of restaurant-y thing and then we'll move on. All right, so if you have a drink in front of you, let's say your food has not arrived and your drink is here, do not lean over and drink like from the straw like this. Sit up straight, pick your glass up, and drink from it like that. None of this, okay? And then, okay, so now we're gonna move on a little bit. Please, 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 please do not put your phone on speaker in a public place. Don't do it. That is so, uh, it's just not good. Not good. Do not do it. Don't do it in a grocery store. Don't do it. Just don't. If it's something that you need to tend to right away, you can answer the phone, you can greet the person, you can say, I am in the middle of the grocery store. Would it be okay if I called you back in about 10 minutes? Boom. But this on speaker where everyone else in the grocery store can hear is so rude. It's so rude. Don't do it. Don't do it. Two other quick ones right here. When someone compliments you, receive the compliment. Don't push it back. So if someone says, God, your hair looks so good today. It's so pretty. Don't say, oh gosh, no, I barely had a chance to do it. See, you're rejecting that. If someone says, your hair looks so pretty today. Wow, I like the way you styled. Just say thank you. That made my day. Receive it. Receive it. Don't push it back. Receive the compliment. I would also say that wherever you're going, if you're going to an event or well, maybe even if you're not going to an event, I would encourage you to stay knowledgeable and stay current on what is going on in our world, in our country, in your state. Just have a clue. You know, we don't want to not have a clue. We don't want to not be able to speak to things or even respond to things because we don't know what's going on in the world. If it's an event where it's a subject, educate yourself on the subject a little bit. But in general, just in general in life, just stay in tune to what's going on around you. We don't live in a holy huddle where we don't ever look up, and talk about things that we don't want to know about. No, we want to know about things. We want to know how to pray for things. We want to know how to help with things. There's so many things. Just don't keep your head buried in the sand. Stay knowledgeable about what's going on around you. And then we'll end on this note. Negativity breeds negativity. Positivity is contagious too, and it breeds positivity. So if you're hanging out with negative people, chances are it's contagious. It's rubbing off on you. So put a check and check that. You need to see, am I speaking negatively? Because I'm telling you, it can creep up and we can be negative and not even realize that we're being negative. So just put a little check there and see, are your words positive or are your words negative? And I'm telling you what, this is what I do. This isn't going to work for everybody. When I find that I'm just being negative, there are a couple things I'll do. Well, first of all, I will just stop where I am, and in my mind, I will just make myself say 3 things that I'm thankful for right then, like just 3 things, and just take a deep breath and calm down. Also, another thing that I've done, and this may sound silly, sometimes I'll wake up and I'll say, okay, I'm not going to say anything negative today. Nothing negative. And so I always wear my watch on my left arm. It's habit. I know it's there. I feel it's there. I know it's there. And so if I catch myself saying something negative, and I'll be like, oh, I wasn't going to do that, I'll flip the watch over to my right hand because that's going to bug me. It's going to remind me that I need to be in check. See, my wrist feels empty right now, and this feels heavy because it's reminding me, don't say anything negative, don't say anything negative, don't. And if I find myself, again, later on in the day saying something negative, I'll take it off, and I'll go, okay, it's good. We're all good. We're going to, from here, fresh start. We're not going to say anything negative. And if I'll do it back and forth. I'll keep flipping it back and forth because it's annoying to have to do that. But it makes me remember, oh, don't. Don't be negative. And that's just something silly that I do. But I know for myself that if I get off the phone with somebody who is about everything, then I end up kind of picking up that perspective. And I don't want to be that way. I want to be positive. I want to be an encouragement to other people, not a discouragement. And so just keep that in check. Are your words positive? Are your words encouraging? Or are they negative and, kind of sour? We don't want to be that person. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to tell me things that you've noticed in elegant or classy women and tell me in the comments below. I want to know because look, and I tell you this all the time, I want to learn from you. I don't want to just be talking, and then that's the end of the conversation. I like when we keep talking in the comments. And look, this is not a list of everything in the whole world. This is just a list that I comprised that I thought might be helpful information, but I want to learn from you too. So tell me down below in the comment section, what tips have you heard? Have you picked up? Have you noticed that really make a difference and help? We want to know. I want to know. So let me know. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it. It means so much that you spend part of your day with me. And thanks for letting me go kind of a little bit off the fashion bandwagon and just do some chit-chatting back and forth about elegance and class and staying poised. All right, enjoy the rest of your week, friend. I will see you here this weekend on YouTube. Bye.